I usually swap a lot of host names, so I have to be muted every now and then, or I have to get back in my screen session to do it myself. But if I don't have that done, then I will not be able to control my own bot. It is in the config file you have to assign one user host for the owner, and well, that makes it pretty hard to get owner rights. Well, why Gozebot? It has IRC and Jabber support. It can rely on a pickle file, but it can also address MySQL, Postgres, or SQLite. User management, as I said, done by user host. It will not respond if it doesn't know you. Fleet, you can use more than one bot in a program. I have a fleet which I've tested a lot with. My fleet is, I think, on every major network that I can find on netsplit.de. I also get kicked quite a lot because some people don't know what the hell that bot is doing on their network. I have a record of 36, and well, what should you do with that? Well, I opened one channel on every network, and I added a relay, a sort of bouncer. So everything that gets typed in one channel on whatever network gets relayed across all the other channels. So if you join, I instantly should find out. And that works amazingly. You get a bit of lag, but it's nice to fiddle around with. Where am I? You can use the bot through a DCC chat to make things more private or secure. You can fetch RSS feeds, which I use an awful lot. I use it for BBC News or whatever you can imagine, alerts. Every time he does a poll, you get the new lines. You can define yourself if you only want the title or also the link or whatever item the RSS feed has. Keeping to-do and shopping lists, that's a good one for me. I am working with getting things done. I think a lot of people might know about that, and it uses a lot of lists, and I can also move things around from one list to the other, and well, it's a good reminder. Every time you have to note something down, you can go to your channel and dump it in. Funny things is KarmaBot. I don't think I have to explain what that does. You can add quotes, which you also can store in the database for other fun things. You can remember items, so I can add a reminder for myself with a date and a time, and when that time occurs, then I'll be notified in the channel. Relaying between bots, I already told about that, and it's because of the Python language relatively easy to build your own plugins. So if you need something that's not in it, then be my guest. It runs a built-in web server for accessing basic information stored in the bot, and also for the collective, which is a lot of bots who can be joined together. So you can execute one command and all the other bots reply. So you can ask for uptime of every bot and to get a few replies back. Excuse me. Remote installable plugs, which are PCP signed. You have a repository which keeps the plugins, and you can by command install a new plugin and check out if it's authentic. Upgrading and restarting after, for example, you install the plugin can be done without losing your connection, which is quite a feat. And for developers, bug track integration and RSS bug notification comes quite in handy. So if you can go a little bit more down, in closing. At this moment, Gozebot has around and about 200 plugins. What I said, performing humorous tasks like interacting and responding to events. It also serves beverages, coffee and tea mostly. It can also relate, can execute some basic IP commands, so I can find out host names or IP addresses, etc. It can announce the IP address of joined web chat users, so you don't have to figure that out yourself anymore. And well, it's almost too much to say. Much more as I write. I've covered everything, I guess. The strong point is again the plug-in development and the strong support of the responding developers. And all you basically need is a shell, Python 2.4 or higher. If you want to remotely install plugins, the GNU PG module. If you want MySQL support or Jabber support, also the according modules. In this case, Py, MySQL DB, and XMPPY. And that is about it. If you want to find more about it, you can find out the homepage, gozebot.org. We have a Hack the Bot challenge running right now at the camp. You can find out more about that in the wiki. We basically run workshops out in our village at Mononokeville, which is behind Seabase. So you can always drop by and find more out if you want to. And of course, the IRC channels. It's a -dunkbot on IRC and also Freenode. And -hackthebot is found on Freenode. So thank you very much.
Okay, the next talk is done by Simon, and that's about why you should develop for the OLPC laptop. Yeah. Afterwards, the United Transnational Republics talk will be held. That one.
Hi, my name is Simon and I'm from OLPC Austria. We're a grassroots organization supporting the One Laptop Agile project, mainly in Austria and in Central Europe. The project is developing a laptop that you probably all know under the name $100 laptop. It's kind of a cool phrase, but a terrible product name because the price is not fixed, and it will be somewhere around $175 at the start, and it will probably drop to about $50 in about 4 years. So that's why the product, the final product, will actually be named XO Laptop. The XO laptop has been developed to better the problem of education in developing countries. That's a huge task. Nearly 2 billion children live in developing countries, and most of them have very inadequate access to education or no education at all. So the project is about education. The laptop is just the most promising way to start solving this problem. I'm going to tell you about 4 reasons why you should develop for the XO laptop, and then 3 things that you can do right now. First reason is that it's great and interesting hardware. It has a unique display that has a reflective black and white mode. So the picture actually gets better the more sunlight you shine on it. I think it's really one of the most amazing features of the whole thing, and you definitely have to see it for yourself. I have one right here, so yeah, you can try it out. It has an incredible battery life of about 12 hours. And the whole thing is extremely robust. It has no openings for ventilation, and the ports are all sealed, so you can pour water on it, or you can use it outdoors. Also, it has no moving parts, so you can drop it, but at least in theory. Please don't try this with our laptop. it's this is a beta machine, and it's not really reinforced. So, and the ports are not sealed yet, so please don't do any stress tests with it. So the EXO is a great machine, but only software will make it brilliant. And that's software that you can write. The most obvious big reason for to develop for it is that there will be a few 100 million of these laptops, and they could all run your code. Next big reason is that it's entirely running open source software. The GUI is called Sugar, and it's built on a whole bunch of open source projects. Sugar is written in Python, and Python is also the preferred language for application development for the laptop, particularly for one reason. There's a view source button on the keyboard. Kids are actually invited to check out and change the source code of every application they're running. And the fourth and most important reason is that you can really change the world, and it doesn't take much. You can, even with your smallest apps, you can really make a difference. The task is so huge that it really comes down to one thing: do something, and it will make great things happen. So what can you do? Sugar applications are called activities, and we're today announcing a worldwide activity development challenge. The basic idea is that you can develop activities for the laptop, open source activities, of course, and you can win some amazing prizes. So the first thing you can do is get one of the flyers. I have a lot of them right here, and sign up at activitychallenge.org to get notified when the competition starts. It will be somewhere in this fall. The second thing is to get in touch with us. Go to olpcaustria.org to find out how you can help. You can also contact us if you want to start your own OLPC initiative in your country. We can probably help you get started. And the third thing I want you to do is to try it out yourself. The laptop will be here till Sunday, so just ask me or contact me over the wiki if you want to play with it. That's it. Thank you.
Okay, the last talk will be done by Georg about the United Transnational Republics.
Yes. Wait a second. Yeah, good evening. My name is Georg Zoche. I came as a representative of the United Transnational Republics to this camp, and I'm going to talk about our organization. First of all, I think you all know the term non-governmental organization, NGO. We are not an NGO. We don't like the term non-governmental. We actually are the first known 3GO, which means Global Governmental Grassroots Organization. And this organization is dealing on the topic of globalization and democracy. Democracy as we know it today takes place only within the borders of nation states, and globalization on the other side happens outside of the national frame and is outside of the system where democracy is still working. Basically what we have is a situation of global problems, but only local governments. Well, so what we would need is a global government for these global problems, and therefore our approach is that the current system of representation of individuals on this planet needs to be expanded by one more level. So we have the nation states for national topics, for national matters, we have the United Nations for international problems, and